Hey everyone. This is a quick overview of where I am on keyboarding lately. And there's this mess. Um, let's start at the beginning. So I think some of you are caught up on Signum I, rather. And we've since graduated to Signum II. Um, Signum kind of went, or Plico actually, kind of went through some changes. This guy over here, he had he was a little bit too gritty, too straight, and a little bit too. I don't know. I didn't like the flipping, like the folding. In a lot of instances, I just didn't like it. It was also a little tall, just because of the USB hub that I put in it. But I wanted something a little different, and I wanted to mix it up a little bit. And the vertical stagger thing, I got back into it, so I'm messing around with it here. Uh, This is obviously the Trace design that I kind of borrowed from just to get kind of their vertical stagger. But I really minimized the vertical stagger here and started adjusting things. And then I had this wasted space in the middle, and I'm like, well that should be a hole there, a thumb hole. And, the case design for the outside winds up, Batman, the crow for the Corvus, because I was still on that Corvus kick. And then this one down here started to work up. And I really liked that one, and that one stuck. So I wound up building up this design in the keyboard layout editor, and that was Signum II, and figured we'd give it a shot. It is technically a 40%. It still has the same amount of keys as a 40%. And this is my 40% layout, which, if you haven't caught it, there's links to it in other videos. It is a mess, but it is very fast, and very intuitive. This number row, it's a little different. It's that Alt F4. That's a nice trick because you rarely press F4. You usually press Alt F4. The key or the mouse assist layer, and then this numpad layer is new, and I like it a lot. And I'm no longer pressing L1 and L5. We're just pressing L5 at this point. So this is no longer a space, and that's something that you press with your pinky. Like the key hits like right here. So it's not something that you're reaching, doing this little finger yoga to hit. It's about ease and it's about comfort, which was what went into this Signum layout. So this was the first build out of acrylic, and I just freehanded the outer case. It's was a little funky looking, and it ran on Alps and Alps Blacks, which I really like. I'm growing to love them. Notice some of these keys are upside down, and that's to change kind of the tactile feel. Your thumbs will seek to those keys if your thumbs know what they feel like. So this is my exact argument, my constant argument against DSA. When you use DSA, you deny your fingers the sensation of touch, the homing that it gets from touch, because there's no profile on them. I mean, you can learn it, yeah, but you're slower for it. And you can drive verbally if you want, someone telling you where to turn and how much to turn, but why would you? Um, Anyways, but one of the other big things that I wanted to test with this design was this. That's what it was. The Plico also had issues with the angle, because I had the Plico laid out so that it was, it can rotate, it can do all this stuff. You know, it can adjust, and basically whatever angle you want, it'll lock there. And I realized that I was locking it at the same angle, and I finally just grabbed a protractor, and it was about 24 degrees. So I'm like, all right, 24 degrees it is. And this was an implementation of that angle. And that was a big deal, and it helped a lot. It was very comfortable, very comfortable. And this was my first attempt with the split layer here. Normally I do like a sandwich case. Every layer is solid and the edges are solid. But in this case, I just wanted a quick build. So there's actually open space. It's like an open side. There's one layer, standoffs, and then bottom layer. So the edges were open. And I had never considered it before, but if I took the wire and wrapped it around, which was almost on accident, this happened. I basically had made wire channels and I didn't even realize it. So that was cool, but I kind of wanted this to be down here, like the original design that I had. Up here. Yeah, this right here. It had the processor in the middle, the microprocessor in the middle, and it has some lights on it. It was just kind of a look and feel thing. So I took this, and this was a Signum I, and made some tweaks to the case, to the design. I moved these in a little bit to accentuate the wire channel, so that everything kind of fit in together a little bit better, and it worked wonderfully. It does catch up here. There's this one pin for this key is exposed. You can't see that. The corner key basically is a little bit exposed because the pin, the wire wraps and touches the pin on the inside, and that needs to be moved out. But that's going to be the next version. But other than that, everything was beautiful. I mean, it's the testament of the keyboard is how long I put up with it before I'm like, I got to remake this. I need something new. Goodness gracious. It has a reflection everywhere. This layout, this design, everything, it has stuck with me for months and months and months. And that says a lot because the only thing that lasted longer was a QFR back when I wasn't even making keyboards. But I'm getting to a point where I've, gotten comfortable enough that I've said, okay, I'm recognizing that, like this row right here, these outer columns are a little bit too high. They need to be dropped down a little bit. And that's something I'm doing in these next designs. Oh, obviously, you might have seen that flip thumb hole. You gotta have the thumb hole. The thumb hole came from it being just a little bit too big. And it's a little bit too big, so you can't just like grip it when you're carrying it around as a travel board. So having that spot to put your thumb in really helps out. There you go. You get that. And then it's a wing. Super, super exciting stuff. Very relevant. Right. But that's where this guy's been going. It's been pretty cool. Let me get another video together for the what's happening next.